The day we departed from Russia was the worst day in my life. My name is Origani Ortha, and this is my story. It all started one day. My mom woke me up very early. We packed our bags the day before. My mom's exact words were, "It is time." I knew what she meant. I got my bag and left without a word. We are going to America. I felt very sad. I had to leave my whole house behind. I felt depressed too. I understood what was happening and why. I just wish I didn't know, like my two younger brothers. I never knew one person could feel so many emotions at a time. We left too many things behind. We left my friends behind. I can't imagine life without her. I felt like I left my life behind. I took one pair of clothes and a ragged doll that my grandmother made for me. For the first time, when we were about to get to the shed, some man kept examining us and asking us questions. I was very nervous. My grandma was already sick from a long, hard trip. Luckily, she used to be an actor. She ran in there, and with all her energy, she acted like she was fine. They still gave her a checkup. It was just a little sickness that they saw. Plus, she acted so well, they let her through. Then came my mom. She was just fine, so she got through. Then came my dad. He was really, really dehydrated on a trip. We all had a certain amount of water we could drink. He was breathing heavily. He told the people it's just because he had walked so long, and they believed him without even tricking him up. I was so relieved, but thinking me, I was so scared. What if I was sick or had some kind of mental problem? I felt my hands shaking so much. My heart was pounding. Then I remember what my grandmother had said. If something is a challenge, then it's a part of what you are. I also remembered what the Bible said when we read it right before we left from Russia. Be strong and courageous. I stepped forward. They took my temperature, checked my heart rate and blood, all kinds of things. I was pretty uncomfortable, but I got through. I was still nervous for my brother Jack. He had a mental problem. It was really bad at one time, but it got a lot better. I was wondering if they would notice. I remember how it used to make him stutter or get mad for no reason at all. I also remember thinking in my head, a good thing about it was that when he stuttered, it sounded like he was just nervous, and that was exactly what they thought. They said he was perfectly healthy, just really nervous. Now for Sam, I was not nervous at all. He has rarely gotten sick. From what I've picked up, he thinks that we're going on vacation. He said hi to the man, and the man just smiled. He was very serious. After a while, he got all checked up too and got through. Then, what felt like forever, we got to the ship. They did not ask us too many questions then. I was so excited and anxious to get there. I was a little sad and nervous because I remember telling my friend I'd write to her every day. We talked about how she had never seen a ship in person, and now she wished she could go. I was thinking that she would really not like this one. It was dirty and stinky and old. When everyone was on board, we went. It took days, and after a while, it really smelled. I, for one, thought it was the worst. If only my friend was with me, it would make it a little more fun. It was crowded. My brothers got so annoying. Sam definitely found out that this was not a vacation. I had to explain to him what was really happening. He thought it was the worst thing ever, too. He was crying so hard. I tried to comfort him. Then I had to tell Jack. He was so mad I can't even explain it. I got really seasick after a while. I tried to fall asleep so I didn't have to smell that terrible scent. I still could not go to sleep. I was so annoyed that I could not go to sleep. Soon my grandmother got sick. It was the worst. She would always try to make a funny joke, but at this dark time, it was way too hard. I got better eventually, but my grandmother was still ill. To pass the time, I tried to count all the people on the ship. I tried to make friends on the ship, but my mom told me to stay by her. I didn't blame her. I mean, if I was a mom, I would have the same rule. I noticed that it is really hard to stay happy. I try really hard. It is really hard, though. I met a man. He's very interesting. His name is Janison. It made me mad at first because my mom just made a friend, and I was not allowed to. I talked to her about it. She said she was actually trying to make me happy by finding a trustworthy person I could play with. I was kind of glad, but a little upset, because it reminded me about my friend back home. Her name was Lindsay. She had a sister, Sarah. She was very nice. Sarah would once in a while hang out with us. I'm still sad that I can't see her, but at the same time, I'm really excited to have a better life. I try to only think about the good parts of moving to America. Sometimes it's really hard. Right now, my mom is fighting with my grandmother about what jobs we need in America. My mom thinks sewing, and my grandma thinks farming. My grandma lives with us, so she's a part of this household, so now she can't just do whatever she would like. I hope my grandma wins the fight. I've heard the factory people are really mean, and if you get hurt and crying, you will get fired. But my mom says getting the farming things will cost us too much money, and we will not have food because it takes the crops a long time to grow. And my grandmother says that the factories are too hot and not good for children. I think they both have good points. But the thing is, since I cannot go out and explore the ship, well, I was right there listening with Jack and Sam. It was weird, and my mom actually asked Dad, Sam, Jack, and I who you agree with. It was really weird because I did not want to hurt my mom's feelings or my grandma's, so I said the truth, that I wanted to work on farm. Then it all of a sudden got quiet. The fighting just stopped. I talked to Mom and said that you and Grandma had good points. She just hugged me and said, let's talk about something else. So we did. After a lot more of really stingy days, there's not much to talk about, we finally got there. I was so happy. For the first time in a long time, I saw a Statue of Liberty. I think everyone needed to see it. We made it this far. Now all we have to do is see my cousins. I knew everything would be okay. I was so excited that I will get to see my cousins finally in America, a free country. You see, actually, we are going to live there until we get enough money to buy a house. At home, we did, but we used most of our money going to Ellis Island. We barely had enough for food, but eventually we got there. My cousin's house. Finally, we were really there. I ran as fast as I could to see her there. With no words. I was so happy I cried. I can't believe it. I'm so close to my cousins. We talked and talked about Ellis Island and how hard it was. I told her about my friends. She thought that it was the worst. We decided that we will never split up like that, ever. And soon, we got a job. We farmed together. We all had our jobs, but really it was kind of fun together. We made a ton of money. Soon I got a house. It was not much, but it was a start. And of course, it was by my cousin. Her name is Brogan. She is so nice. I love her.